Alright, and we are straight into our quad focused leg day. So I am thinking of starting with some single leg. We go from there. Oh, my knees would let me do it today. But it's funny, I clock out and I said, okay, I'm out of here. Or should I say I'm stuck here for another hour. And they're like, what? I was like, I work out after I get off work. And they're like, you're joking. Like, no. So I guess I'm one of the only people who actually works out after their shift. Man, are you joking? We'll just warm up. Yeah, I'll just do some warm ups with both legs. Or are you joking? Oh, gosh dang. Well, this was going to be a single leg first exercise, but now it's just going to be a freaking lightweight warm up because I can't get my knee to fully extend. Alright, well, let's move on, take a single leg press or something instead. Sometimes when my knees won't lock out for extensions, it does better for presses. I don't know why. Alright, we'll see how single leg feels before we load anything up. But we wanted to do some isolation stuff for the quads today, not just both legs. Ooh. 1 second. Ooh, I'm short, but man, come on. That'd be better. Whoa. Ooh. Alright, we'll put your weight on, see what happens. Alright. Get a weight on, nothing too crazy, but enough to create a stimulus, hopefully. But busting a knee. I might just have to hop on some BPC 157 try to get my knees feeling better again. Oh god, my knees are popping. Ooh. Oh, we might do one or two more of these, and then do buff legs, up the weight and do both. Because sometimes my knees just feel better when I do both instead of isolated. But I wanted to do some isolation movements today, but I don't think my knees are gonna grief me on that. It's unfortunate. Well, the best I can do is just chase the pump. My knees are popping like crazy. I wish the mic would pick it up because I can hear them as clear as day. But all right, let's do some with both legs now. Normally, I'm able to keep my composure and not get too upset about my knees not being the best. You know, some leg days go better than others. I mean, one of the last full leg days we did here, I was doing 4 plates. I'm gonna start with 2, see how that feels. But it's just hard not to get frustrated because leg day used to be my favorite because I could go heavy. You know, as someone who was always a big kid, I always had strong legs. So leg days, you know, my strongest lifts, and it made me feel like I wasn't wasting my time in here when I first started because I was so weak on every other lift. So now it's like I can't even lift probably a quarter or maybe even I'd even go as far as an eighth of what I used to. This I would throw 2 or 3 plates on as a warm up weight. So, anyways, enough pouting, more lifting. Now, there we go. Oh, oh, think we'll just do one more of those and we'll move on to a different kind of leg press. Probably a stack loaded, 7-point loaded. Something that maybe I can go easier, get a lighter on, control better. I mean, this isn't feeling terrible. It felt terrible doing isolated, single leg, but not doing both. But I don't know, my knees are a bit iffy today, so there are two other kinds of leg press here other than this traditional sled. So go use one of those. We'll probably hit both of them today. Depends. One of them does genuinely bother my knee, no matter what. It kind of takes me off because it's a good machine, and I used to love using it here, but we'll see what happens. All right. Ooh. Oh, we're always chasing a good pump. Ooh. Even if I'm not going as heavy as I'd like to be. Let's move on. This is the leg press compression that I said I love, that I used to use all the time, but now it bothers my knee. But I'm being hopeful today that that's not the case. Man, whoever was on this is shorter than me, which is a testament within itself. So I'm going to get the Guinness Book of World Records out here because we got the shortest person alive running around somewhere. All right. Well, they were be that close to it and do 120. That's impressive. There we go. I might just leave it under 120 just to see how it feels. Play with this thing real quick. It's about how close I could be. Still a hard start, but maybe get higher. Nah, we'll get a better stretch down low. Might just sit here for a little bit, guys. Get back into another set. I don't feel there's not many places to put the camera, so we'll just take a brief break and hammer it out because I'm not going as heavy as I used to, or would like to. So we'll just keep the intensity up, keep pumping the legs, and hopefully get a good workout in. So enough yapping. Oh. I try to avoid full lockout on this machine to keep some constant tension on the quads. And it's just the way this machine's set up. I'm getting a little hamstring action too. If I went higher, I'd be getting more. But even all the way down here, I'm getting a lot of hamstring action. But it's mostly quad. That's what we're looking for. But it is what it is. Try to keep the intensity up and have a good workout. Oh, try to go a little wider. If you guys noticed in the last two, I'm going pretty wide stance so I can get kind of past my torso. That my stomach isn't a limiting factor in any way, shape, or form. It is hot as bones in here. Let's move on. I think we'll try that other extension machine and see how it's feeling today. All right, here we are. At least with this one, I can spot myself if needed. Start right on the 70s. There's the seat adjustment here. All right. It's on small. But, you know, this handle's here, so I can always spot myself if I need. It's the hardest part, is getting past this point right here. My knees won't do it on their own right now. So. All right, moving. I'm gonna let that lactic acid be held in my legs by keeping it in the machine. And we're gonna get right into another set. So I used to do the 205 or the 190 on this machine. So doing 70 is nothing for my muscle strength wise, but for my knees, I'm completely compromised. As you can see, once I get going, I can get it back up for a few more sets without spotting it, but I have to go back to spotting it. So I'm trying to spot it as much as I need to at the top, or sorry, to get to the top, and then I control it on the eccentric, make the legs control the weight, and actually get a good pump going, even if I can't go as heavy as I'd like. We'll do one more set just like that. Say it might not look much to you guys, but I have probably the best quad pump I've had in a long time, because of the limitations of my knees. We're gonna go from here to the machine right in front of us, which is the other leg press machine, which typically doesn't bother my knees too much. So, considering I was able to do the other one that does bother my knees today, hopeful that it's just extension movements that my knees kind of being iffy about today. Because more often than not, that's what it is. Sometimes my knees are bothered by squat movements, pressing movements, but most of the time it's the extensions. So, someone just took the machine. We might have to camp out here for a while. Oh, oh. Oh man. Holy crap. Well, since the machine we were going to use is taken, and I was going to be neglectful of calves today and not do them, we're going to go ahead and fix that. and hit some calves. So, no calf neglect today. Okay, not quite. There we are. Ooh. Whoa. All right. Just a few more sets of these until that leg press is open. Ooh. Ooh. All right. One more set, just like the last one. And we'll see where we're at from there. Hopefully by then that leg press will be open. That just cracked me up. I'm like, oh, we'll go to the machine straight in front of us. It'll be simple, and then we'll be done. And like I hopped on it, and I don't own the gym, and I wasn't doing the superset, so I ain't gonna say nothing. It ain't my place. But it did crack me up that the timing was impeccable. But it's forcing me to have to hit caps when I was going to skip them. So there's that. Maybe we'll do a drop set. A drop set on calves. Yes, I am that person. I am a psychopath. Even with crap knees and hating leg day more than I used to because of my knees, because I can't get full enjoyment of it anymore. I still love leg day. I still like pushing and training hard even if it hurts. All right, well, we'll hit one or two good sets on this and we'll call it a day. My phone stopped recording mid last set, so you guys didn't even see all the drops of that drop set, but this is as it goes. Oh, there we go. Right there. But stopped recording, so just made a few things to open some space for these last two sets. Maybe more, but probably two. Yeah, that ain't happened today. So much for that. Normally I do 160, but not today. Okay, there we go. Oof. 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 Small break, and then one more set. Oh. Oof. 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 All right, well, I'll see you guys in the car. Alright guys, I'm going to try to keep this one brief, not because I want to, but because I already filmed this once. And, you know, I'm driving, so I'm not constantly looking at the camera. And I finally look over as I'm ending the car talk, and the phone hasn't been recording because it got a temperature warning. So, no idea where it left off. I went ahead and just deleted it and restarted. But anyways, let's talk about what we're here to talk about. I think, all things considered, that was a pretty decent quad focus leg day. It was very unfortunate. It had a very unfortunate start. I sat down on that yellow leg extension machine hoping to hit some single leg extensions, and my knees were just not here for it. For whatever reason, they will either be perfectly fine, have an issue with extensions but not pressing, or have an issue with pressing but not extending. If that makes any sense at all, because no matter what, your leg is extending. But if it's actually the extension motion, leg curls don't bother it on those days. Doing a press doesn't typically bother it. Maybe it just depends. But there are days where I can do pressing and not do extensions, and there's days I do extensions and not do pressing. So I don't know why they were being iffy, but what was supposed to be a single leg, a few sets of single leg extensions became both legs doing the little warm up half reps that I do to try to loosen them up and make sure I can actually hit my leg day. And I mean, it turned out for the best. That did warm them up. I was able to go on and press and then do extensions later in the workout, as long as I spotted it in that bottom half on the way up. But my biggest thing right now is if the mics worked during the workout or not. Obviously, I'll find out when I edit. So I'll cover some of the things I said during the workout here, just to be safe. But I think that was a pretty decent workout. Definitely got a good pump. At one point, my phone ran out of storage, so I had to go through and delete some stuff. So one of the very last calf raise set is cut short. I did a drop set, went all the way to failure. You guys, I think, see one or two drops before it stopped filming. But, you know, is what it is. At least there's still a 4-set blended video. So, pretty happy with today's leg workout, all things considered, because it could have been a lot worse given how it started. So, pretty happy with how it went. Got a good quad pump. So I'm gonna shoot you guys straight. I'm greatly considering hopping on BPC 157. If you don't know anything about that, what that is, it's not a steroid, it's not a SARM, it's a peptide. It's known as a healing peptide, and what it does is it helps with the healing and regenerative ability of your muscles, tendons, and ligaments.
And so I will be completely honest with you. I have been on a oral version of it in the past, about 6 or 7 months ago. And I was on it for 4 months. And it was great. But I think the biggest mistake I made while on it was once my knees started feeling good again, I started lifting the same weights I used to do before I ever injured my knees. And so, if you know anything about PED use, you know, you know that that's a stupid decision. Because if you ever wondered why you see like pec tears so often in the bodybuilding or fitness influencer world, it's because when you take PEDs and your muscles grow at a faster rate and your strength goes up at a faster rate, your tendons and ligaments don't keep up with that. So, what is literally holding your muscle onto the bone is not as strong and has not gained as much strength as your muscle itself. And so, what I'm doing is I'm taking these ligaments and tendons that are trying to repair while on the BPC 157, but my muscles that, have always been fairly strong in my legs, then I can easily do 6, 7, 800 pounds plus on the leg press. And I used to do 315 for working sets of 10 to 12 on squat. I'm like going back to those weights within a month of being on it, and my ligaments really haven't had the time to fully heal. So, every leg day I'm pushing those weights. And then once I was off of it, I kept pushing those weights until slowly I couldn't push those weights anymore. My knees started bothering me again. So, I'm going to be a lot smarter this time if I do it. So, I'm just being fully transparent for you guys. I pretty well fully intend on hopping back on it for my knees. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take full advantage of my knees starting to feel good enough to lift those heavy weights again, but stay with the lighter weights I've been doing. Maybe up it a tad because they've been excessively light, but do more controlled, very monotonous, very just like perfect form, slow, controlled, eccentric and concentric, probably aiming for higher rep 15 to 20, and just focus on getting a good quad pump and letting my knees truly heal this time, while trying to keep my legs either where they are or getting them a little bit bigger. But hopefully I can actually get my knees fully healed this time and then start pushing some weight again. But right now, I just want to be able to start having good leg days again, because I'm prepping for a bodybuilding show that's next summer, and I can hardly train legs. So, just full transparency, I'm probably going to hop on some BPC 157 again. So, I guess I can not claim natty, because I will be on a PED, a peptide, to be exact. So, that is what the future more than likely holds. And I don't think I have anything else to say other than holy crap, that 18-wheeler almost clipped the front of that car. How do you people get hired for driving jobs? It's beyond me. But anyways, near-death experience going on behind me aside, good leg workout, pretty happy about it. Tomorrow's back day, so I think the plan for tomorrow will be what it's been for the past few back days, a very lat-focused lat day, and then maybe a little more trap action, because your traps make up, when people think traps, I think these. This is your upper trap. Your mid-back, what creates the Christmas tree, is your mid and lower traps. So, try to focus on that. And then lats, I want that width created by the lats. I don't have very good lat spread. I do not have much width in the back, if you ask me, but maybe I'm underestimating it because my gut has such pronounced love handles still. But one day we will see what we look like without the love handles, and then will we know if these lat focused back days paid off. But that is the plan for tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then.